Hey guys, it's Lauren Yates here, celebrity interviewer, entertainment reporter, and the host of this podcast, Rave It Up, celebrity news, reviews, and interviews. If this is the first time you're listening, go check out our show's trailer on Apple Podcasts or Spotify to learn more about us. And make sure to follow us on social media to tell us what else you would like to hear from this podcast. We are under Rave It Up TV on Instagram, Rave It Up Show on Facebook, and our website is raveituptv.com. Now today, we have a chat to Canadian actor Kevin McGarry, who you may know playing Mitch on the TV show Heartland, and Nathan Grant on When Calls the Heart. Before we get into today's interview, we would like to give a shout out to our Patreons, Irene, Bev, and Michael. If you haven't heard of Patreon before, it is a great way to support us and keep us running and improving. You pick a membership tier that suits you and your budget per month, and in return for supporting us, we'll give you behind-the-scenes content and free stuff. You don't have to give much either. You can be a part of our Patreons for as little as $4 a month. Just visit patreon.com/raveitup. You can even donate through PayPal if you don't trust other sites. You can do so just through our email, raveituptv@gmail.com. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact us. We appreciate anything you can do to support us. Now, let's get into this interview.
3, 2, 1.
Let's do this.
Rave it up.
Hey guys, it's RJ May from Breaking Bad.
Adam Savani from Step
It's
Up.
Keegan Allen from Pretty Little Liars.
Hi, this is Arthur Buttrose.
Cosentino.
Rob Mills.
Todd McKenney with Lauren Yates on Rave It Up.
Raving it up.
Hashtag Lauren Rave It Up.
Sorry.
Thank you, I like that
I heard
effect.
raving. We're raving it up.
Kevin, welcome to Rave It Up. It is a pleasure to finally have you on the show. How are you going today?
Good. I'm going. Is that what you guys say? How you going?
How you
doing?
going?
Is it
How
an
you
Australian
doing?
thing? How you going? I'm going well.
G'day, mate.
Thank you. Good day. I'm going very well. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for asking me.
Well, yeah, I really appreciate you taking the time. I know you're in between filming right now, so this is just your time to relax and just chill out.
It is, and we'll spill all the secrets right now, I guess.
Ooh,
This is what
okay,
we'll do.
juicy.
Yeah, more gossip.
Well, I don't know if you know this already, but I pretty much had all of your main Heartland co-stars on the show already. So it's about time we
I
have you
heard.
too, right?
Yeah. What have they been saying? That's
Oh,
what I gotta know. Did you have Michelle? Did you have
what
Michelle?
haven't they? Yes, I've had Michelle, I've had Sean, Amber,
Oh,
Graham, and I just had
geez.
Gabriel a couple of weeks ago. So
Oh yeah, wow.
yeah, Kerry, Jessica, yeah, there's heaps,
Everyone.
heaps. I know everyone except Alicia Newton, and I still need to try to get her on.
Oh, she's here right now. She's somewhere in Vancouver, I think, but I don't know. You could
We'll work on
track
that.
her down. Yeah.
Now, since this is your first time on our show, we'd actually love to get to know you a little bit better and start from the beginning of your career, if that's okay, to get a
Sure.
good idea of how you've made it to where you are today. So is it true that your career started off as a bit of a happy accident because you mistakenly entered a 12th grade theatre class? Can you please tell us the
Yeah.
story? How do you accidentally walk into a theatre class?
I think it was a grade 9, it wasn't grade 12. And I accidentally walked in because I purposely left math class. So I'm sitting in math. I just did not, I've never been good
Wanted
with
to skip
anything
it.
that has like, any course that, or any answer that is like a specific answer, like in math, the answer is 4 and there's no other answer. Right. And I'm just not good with like English. I feel like I could, or any of the arts, I feel like I could
Fake it till you make it.
kinda, exactly, basically, right? I could argue my answer, like, well, this is what it is, and
Yeah.
but I mean, if it's 4, the answer is 4. So math and I don't really get along. So I was just like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom or whatever, and left. And I'm just kind of rolling around the halls in grade 9. I'm still kind of getting used to the high school. And I ended up walking into a drama class that was like in the middle of, maybe it was grade 12 drama, because they were older. And I was watching this play or something, or I think it was like a type of improv exercise or whatever. And I just remember being like, I cannot believe people go into this, like, this is a class, you get credit for this. So I sat and I just kind of like watched the whole thing, and I was like, oh, I got to switch all my courses around or whatever. And then I, enrolled in theater or in drama class. But I will say, like I was always even before high school, like I did some I did like the school plays, and like I like to put on like shows, and we played around with my dad's like old VHS camera or whatever, like made little movies and stuff. So like I always had that kind of storytelling, joking around, like just hamming it up, wanting to be the center of attention kind of thing. I always had that, and then I realized I could get like a credit for it. So I was like, yeah, I'll do that. So yeah, kind of a happy accident.
It's just meant to be. It was like,
Kevin,
you're doing the wrong thing. Go down this path.
Yeah, exactly. So it was a sign from God. So yeah, I did it. Yeah.
Awesome. And you did study theatre arts after school too, but you also have a degree in creative writing. That was a big surprise to me. Are you still creative writing to this day, or just do it for a bit of a hobby?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't have a degree in it, but I do. I did study screenwriting at George Brown in Toronto, and I mean, I've written like a couple things. When I was struggling in Toronto and trying to make it or whatever, I wrote 2 musicals that me and my friends, my writing partner put up, and I've written some short films and stuff and shot stuff like that, but I've just been kind of knock on marble or whatever this is. I've just been so lucky in the last 4 years that I just really have been working so much that I haven't had time. But I would love to shoot something that I wrote. And actually the last working on Wind Calls the Heart or whatever, our current showrunner John Tinker is very open to ideas from the cast, from the characters or whatever, and I got to kind of co-write a scene with him,
cool.
Kind of a pivotal scene at the end, so that was kind of fun. So, but I mean, the answer is like I don't have like a screenplay I'm sitting on right now. It's like, and
yes, well, you never know in the future,
if
right?
Any of these listeners want to throw in some money. This is live, right? People listening. Oh, I can see the board lighting up right now. Oh yeah, people are.
Oh, look at that! Heaps of calls.
Yeah, we'll get to them later.
Well, you never know in the future. Like in this industry, you can just dabble in a little bit of everything. It's all still under the entertainment umbrella. So who knows? Mm-hmm. You let us know, though. All right, you let us know in Australia first.
I will.
So you finished university in 2007, and then you did actually begin your acting career a year earlier. I was reading in your biography, but apparently you didn't land your first major TV role on Open Heart until 2015. So how long do you think
dates? I don't remember dates. It's just
you're like, I don't know. It was just all mushed into one.
It was. I must have graduated theater school 2005-ish. I had to. Maybe was it 2007? Is that what it says? Who knows? Who writes
the screenwriting? I think. Well, that on the internet says creative writing degree in 2007.
Yes, the internet knows all. I think the internet said I was dead for a little while.
Seriously?
There was another Kevin McGarry, I think, who passed away, and if he must have been more famous than I was. But you click on the Google thing, and they're like, yeah, Kevin McGarry passed away in like 1972.
All the fans are like, oh my God,
I wasn't even born yet. Yeah.
So how long do you think you were, working hard on your craft and auditioning before getting your first big break? Because they always say, it takes 10 years to be an overnight success. I like to ask that question because it gives, the listeners a bit of a insight into, it's so rewarding, this career, but it is also very difficult.
It's incredibly difficult. Yeah. There are, of course, and I know some actors, we're lucky enough to come right out of theater school, and get something right away and kind of get their career to take off a little bit. I was not that. I struggled quite a bit until I'd say my late 20s. I mean, I was, I might've been 22, 23 when I graduated from theater school, and I didn't get Open Heart, which was my very first series regular, until I would say 29 or something like that. And, and it was sprinkled actually. And in between that time, I think, by the time I was 25, I was working just as an actor, but I wasn't rolling. I wasn't sleeping on a pile of money every night. I was sleeping on a pile of rags.
It was so funny.
But I was doing a lot of theater at the time. I got into like a repertoire theater company, and I was doing like small little theater gigs kind of in Toronto, and so I was making enough money to kind of just do theater, but just act by the time I was 25. But I wasn't able to kind of make a living
until about 29.
About 29, 30, and I kind of so lucky that I did too, because I just had a stronger perspective of kind of work ethic and what it takes, and just know that none of this is permanent. It's gonna just because you're kind of working right now, that it will end eventually, and you've got to find something else too. And
well, even COVID was a big eye opener for everyone in the entertainment industry.
Oddly enough, the entertainment industry was not it went the other way, where there was people were stuck at home and they needed something to watch, right? So
we better stop making movies and TV shows.
Exactly. We were with When Calls the Heart. We were the very first show to come back, or one of, maybe not the very. I don't know. You got somebody. It's like actually, we're number 3. We were one of the first shows. One of the first shows to come back last year during COVID, and it was such a surreal world of everyone was afraid to like get close to anybody, and we had to figure out how to shoot with. There were some people. I mean, we weren't this crazy, but I know there were some people that for like some of these romantic movies, at the end when they kiss, like they were kissing a tennis ball, and then they would superimpose each other like in the final. Yeah.
Oh, isn't my goodness! Crazy?
Because everyone was just kind of figuring it out at the time, so no one had any idea what was.
Never going to be able to look at a movie the same way again. Any kissing scene, you'd be like,
or
tennis
you're
ball.
Going to wonder tennis ball. That person wasn't there. They're clearly kissing a tennis ball.
So creative, though.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think that's what COVID. It forced people to kind of get creative, to figure out how can we tell these stories without 20 cast members. How can we bring things down? So I don't even know how we got here. We just went down the road, and I don't even know how we got tangent. How do we get talking about this?
We were talking about how long you're working on your craft for, but
yeah, and how do we get to
tangents.
COVID? And it's wild. I have to go back and listen to it. Well, I guess I
can move on to the next question if you like.
No, I feel like we got to figure out how we got here. Was it
that COVID changed things?
The COVID changed things, kept things busy. How things changed, maybe, or I guess maybe I was saying something like knowing that I was happy that I kind of got successful.
Oh, that it could be taken away from you. It won't last
because
forever.
It could be taken away like COVID. That's how we got there.
Yes.
Exactly. Didn't have to rewind this podcast. Figured out.
Use our heads. Use our brains.
Yeah, exactly. But it was a good lesson, and it was, and it still is, and it's. I was happy this came later in life, and also who I was too. Like I always kind of looked like a man, like even when I was, I had some friends in 22, 23, and they were doing Degrassi's a big show in Canada, right? So, I did for that, and a lot of like dumb teen comedies and stuff like that. So I'd auditioned for these teenagers, and like I looked like I was, their dad.
Already
like,
a man.
Hey fellow kids. And he's like, he's a narc.
22 Jump Street.
Exactly. It's like, yeah, don't tell that guy. He's the principal. But at the same time, I was too young in personality and maturity to play any older roles. So like my sweet spot was probably right around like 29 when I was able to kind of. But I was able to look at this with clear eyes, and what I wanted and what it takes to stay alive kind of in this business. So it did come later, but I'm happy it did.
And you've been doing well.
What a journey that was. Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Touch wood. I've actually got a wooden table, so I'll touch the wooden table instead of the marble.
I told you. So I'll hit marble.
Did you know we filmed this interview? Well, come on over to our YouTube channel, Rave It Up TV. You can subscribe for free. And here's a little secret. We like to reward our active subscribers with autographed photos and merchandise, no matter where you are in the world. So don't forget to give us a thumbs up while you're there and get busy sharing the videos with your friends.
Hey guys, it's RJ May from Breaking Bad.
Adam Savani from Step Up.
Bryce Johnson from Pretty Little Liars.
Rob Mills.
Todd McKenney with Lauren Yates on Rave It Up.
These celebrities are sharing a message of hope and inspiring the younger generation in our new book, Knowing What I Know Now. This is filled with 70 quotes from your favourite celebrities on what they would tell their 14-year-old selves. A book filled with amazing advice to help you chase your dreams or help you deal with bullying or depression. It is available worldwide as a paperback or ebook version. Go to raveituptv.com to buy your copy now. There is even an audiobook version coming very soon. In 2010, you did play Charlie in the movie Saw, the final chapter, which is a horror movie. How was your
That's
experience
true.
with that genre? Would you want to do a horror again?
Oh, so this was my very first role. This was something like I was 23 or 20. I was playing like a cop in that thing, and
Playing a man role.
playing a man role. It was like a young like cop that's like, oh, I don't know, Sergeant so and so, and just to kind of prove, like I was there to kind of help tell the story, just to make it seem like the exposition. Like I was there to kind of help out the exposition of the main girl, to make it seem like I was a cop that shows up with like her groceries, and it's this idea that like she's been in her apartment for a very long time, whatever like that. Not really important. One of my first roles, it was a horror. I didn't really have any horror stuff to do with it. I just, got to be part of that franchise. And then my buddies are watching it because they like horror stuff, and they call me up. They're like, McGarry, I don't know, man. Unless you were the guy in the mask, I did not see you in that movie. I find out
It was
I
that
got
short.
Cut. Well, it wasn't even that short. I got cut. That whole scene got cut. So after telling all these people that I was in this movie, and then it happened again. I got this part on the Vin Diesel. Was that like James Bond Vin Diesel movie, that the Triple X whatever?
Triple
It was
X,
the third one. It was
yeah.
the third one, and same thing, like another big movie or whatever. And I got this part. I was supposed to be like this, speaking with a British accent. I was like this kind of like James Bond.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was really cool, and this James Bond assassin type thing. And anyways, with those types of movies, they tend to, you get the first draft, second draft, third draft, all the way to like, draft 100 or whatever. And at the draft that I was cast in, there was like all these bad guys that were going to happen. They were all from like different parts of the world. And it was going to be great. Anyways, slowly after I got cast, my agent kept calling me like, hey, so the part's getting a little smaller. It's okay. It's like, it's still gonna be great. Vin Diesel still kills you. I think I got like thrown off a building by Vin Diesel. So I was like, this is gonna be great.
Yeah.
And then it kind of whittled itself down to all of a sudden, just like a fight scene at the beginning before, I was like, still, this is kind of cool, big fight scene.
Still a big movie.
So still a big movie. So I shoot it or whatever, right? And a really cool little fight scene, get to play all these gadgets. I think I had a watch that like shot darts or lasers or something like that. And the trailer comes out, and I'm in the trailer.
Woo!
So I'm telling everybody, I'm like, yeah, you got to see this thing, like, millisecond or whatever. And then
Still counts.
movie comes out, buddies call back up again and say, McGarry, unless you were wearing a bald cap and pretend you were Vin Diesel, I did not see you in that movie. And I got cut out of it again. They cut out the whole thing.
Oh my goodness.
So my luck with those bigger budget blockbuster kind of things is that I'm slowly, I think the next time that happens, if it does happen, I'll have to get in the movie by that time, because I went from no movie to little bit of trailer to like, I gotta be at least,
you gotta have
maybe my hand will make it in or something on this third one, and you'll be like, that's my shoulder.
Hey, at least you got Heartland and When Calls the Heart, right?
I got that right now.
You got heaps of screen time, just not in blockbuster movies.
That's true. Not yet.
They'll be kicking themselves eventually for not having you.
Yeah, I'm gonna write a strong worded letter to Vin Diesel.
And get all the fans to do it.
Yeah.
You got heaps of fans, so you might as well use them.
That's it. Everybody write to Vin Diesel. No, don't. I don't know. Don't get me
Creators
in
of the
trouble.
movie, anyway. I don't know how much Vin Diesel has any weight in that.
It's Vin Diesel. No, don't do it.
You do also have some strong theatre background as well. Theatre credits like A Midsummer Night's Dream, The Complete Work of William Shakespeare, and She Loves Me, to name a few. Do you ever want to like do more live theatre? I know obviously When Calls the Heart, Heartland's taking up a lot of your time, but...
Yes, no, I think that, I mean, that's what I went to school for, and that's what I like the most. And that's actually what I really miss a lot too about the whole pandemic that's going on. I mean, I have a lot of friends that are in the theater, you know, whether it's like straight theater, music theater, whatever it is, and it is halted.
Yeah.
And it's so sad. I mean, actually, you guys in Australia were one of the very first people to open up their type of Broadway, and I know so many Broadway producers were trying to move their shows to your.
I know
your
Pippin
Broadway.
was the first to open. You know, when
I think
was still happening.
I think a show from Canada, Come From Away, was trying to get in there as well, right? I don't know.
It did, and then
did it?
Now we've been locked down, so that's paused again.
Oh,
yeah.
Jeez. Well,
it was running for a little bit.
Yeah. It's great too. And you were just talking about the actress you were speaking to in Newfoundland. It's all about Newfoundland, right? I mean, that's what that musical is about. Anyways, a great musical. If I could pitch it, anyways, listening, you should watch it. Yeah, I mean, I was really sad when I would see a lot of plays and musicals in Toronto.
Me too.
And yeah, in like New York and so I really like that stuff, and I always wanted kind of to be in Broadway. I got close a couple times, you know, close to kind of being in some Broadway shows. It just never really happened.
It's all right.
But I would love to. Yeah, I would love to in the future. After we go back and get in another Vin Diesel movie, now I'll go to Broadway.
Then we go to Broadway. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you like that live element of it, where you know the TV shows you're in, they're all pre-recorded. They can edit things out, as we know from the movies, cut you out completely.
Exactly.
Live, you're on there. You always got. You've always got time.
There's a sense of power you've got, I think, as an actor when you're on stage, because like nobody can kind of tamper with how you are, you know, projecting your character. And you know, I say that, but I mean, you know, you spend 2 months getting it tampered by the director, and then you know you put it up on its feet. But still, when you're up there in front of the audience, it is really just like it's on your shoulders to kind of carry that part of the story. And you know, in film and TV, especially TV, like it's just, you know, you're such a slave to the director. I mean, they tell you where to stand, they tell you where to look, they tell you, and you know, you're trying. Well, maybe if I do this, you know, maybe I can kind of switch out a bit. So it would be nice to kind of get. And there's an aspect of like anything could go wrong, you know, on theater. Like I mean, an aspect of, and I've had those moments, you know, where like something will fall or a set piece will crash to the ground or somebody will forget their line, and then you're really in it. You've got to all figure out how you're going to get out of this thing, and I miss that a little bit, you know, because the film and
true.
TV
With TV, you can just, if you forgot your line, you just refilm it.
you can just stop. Like the stakes. I mean, the stakes are there, but it's not as scary, I guess. I don't know.
Scary and embarrassing to a whole audience.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, who knows? As I said, in the future, let's just tag Kevin and everything and get him
just
on.
Keep tagging me
on stage.
Go to Vin Diesel. Tag me in all Vin Diesel's photos.
And all the Broadway shows to get you in them.
All the Broadway shows too. Yeah, this will be great.
In this day and age, we're surrounded by technology and electricity all the time, like our phones and laptops, phone and radio towers, Wi-Fi, electric power lines, and the appliances in our home. Do you know that these could be damaging your health because of the electromagnetic radiation coming off them? When I found Orgone Effects though and bought their products, I immediately noticed a difference. I started sleeping better and was even calmer and not always high on adrenaline. Orgone Effects has over 20 years experience in developing products to neutralise the harmful effects of EMRs. I have 6 of their products myself now, and I could not recommend them highly enough. These products last a lifetime too, so you only have to buy them once. Go check out their website, orgoneeffectsaustralia.com.au. That is ORGONE effectsaustralia.com.au. And type in the coupon code RAVEITUP at checkout.
Do you love the world of entertainment? And do you love writing? Well, you could be perfect to join Rave It Up. We are currently looking for talented new writers to write for our website, raveituptv.com. You must speak fluent English and be passionate about everything entertainment, from celebrities to movies and music. If you're interested, please email us at info@raveituptv.com.
Did you know Rave It Up now has a private Facebook group where we give away regular prizes and you get to have a sneak peek at what we're up to? You'll get to see some fun behind the scenes action and can be part of the interview process yourself, just like a real journalist. So come join us and share your passion for entertainment with all of our other fans. Just search Rave It Up Community on Facebook and we look forward to getting to know you.
Now, a lot of us obviously know you playing Mitch on the TV show Heartland and also Nathan Grant on When Calls the Heart. But I would really...
Anything with heart in it.
Heart, I know.
Anything with heart.
Is that what it is? That's what you always choose. Oh, it's got heart in the title. Got to choose it.
It's not that it chooses me. I can't, I mean... These are
or
both
a fan online made a funny comment going, does he always just choose parts that have love triangles in them?
Yeah, that's all they write for me.
That's all you want.
That's all they write for me. And I never win. I'm always like, oh,
missed again.
Missed again. Oh, my heart. Oh, my heart.
One day. But I would really love to talk about Heartland more because we do have a lot of Heartland fans listening today. They love listening to Rave It Up, and obviously because I've interviewed pretty much all the main cast.
Oh, yeah.
They keep coming back for more. So
all right.
Bring us back to the beginning of your journey with Heartland. How was the audition process for you? Was Mitch someone you just automatically connected with and you're like, I have to play this?
I think so when I went in for it, for sure there's elements of like Mitch that are like me, kind of like a laid back. I grew up in the country, the kind of rural areas in Ontario. So I grew up with a lot of guys like Mitch. So it was just very like the laid back kind of cowboys. So that was there already. I auditioned for Heartland. So I did the thing. And then I got this weird call that they were like, hey, my agent was like, so they want you to come back, do it again, but they think you're tilting your head too much. And I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, in the audition, you're like tilting your head. And I was like, what are you talking about? And I didn't even want to go back. I was kind of like a little miffed by that. I was like, I'm tilting my head and they don't
didn't even know I was doing it.
And maybe it's because I'm tall and I was just like thinking I don't know what it is. But so Brian, my agent was like, please, go, you should go back and give it a try or whatever. I think you got that. I think if you go back and you don't tilt your head, you'll get the job. So I was like, okay. So went back in, did it again. All I was thinking about was my, neck and head. So I couldn't imagine the audition was that good. Sure enough, I get the call and they're like, hey, yeah. And so, they want you for the part. And at this time, Mitch was really he wasn't as fleshed out to be like a regular character on that show because he was, it was a small part kind of helping along Lou's, transition from when she divorced Peter and she's kind of getting it back out there to date again. So they're like, they're going to bring you in, for 1 or 2 episodes and see how it goes or whatever.
Famous last words.
So, I mean, that's kind of, I was coming out, I was like, okay, I tore my head too much. They're kind of just going to try me out. It felt very, very like, okay, we'll see what's going on. And I get out there. And right away, Michelle and I get along very well. Like she's very funny and we kind of have the same sense of humor and she's a great actress. And it was really fun. And then I find out the director was like, hey, she goes, come here. She's like, we thought you were great. We loved your audition. She goes, the executive producer was like, I think he tilts his head too much. And she's like, I did not think that. She goes, she's like, I'll just tell him not to tilt his head on the day. It's not a big deal. And he's like, no, he's got to come back and not tilt his head. So she's like, I'm so sorry for putting you through that. Like you were always the guy. We always thought you were.
Oh.
So, and she, I mean, she was the reason why I even got on in that family for a little while. This Gail Harvey is her name. She's a great director. And yeah. So anyways, so then I did the it was just like one day of something, and I kind of put the moves on Lou, and it's too early, and I'm like, well, see you, peace out or whatever. And then all of a sudden you find out he's kind of a cowboy, and then the next few episodes or whatever, and he kind of gets a bond with Jack. And then slowly they were just kind of giving me more stuff. They're like, we really like Kevin. We think, I think with Heartland too, it's not just how, well your character blends in with the story. It's also kind of who you are as a person, because there's such a tight family out there. They've had the same crew for such a long time that, like, if you get along with everybody really well, and if they like you and it's a good fit, then they love to kind of keep, having you back or whatever. And it just kind of fit really well. Like, where the crew and I got along really well. I was still pretty new at the time. Like, I wasn't doing When Calls the Heart. All the Hallmark stuff hadn't really started yet. I just kind of finished when Open Heart. I might have been doing, like, maybe a TV movie in Montreal or something, but I was still very much kind of that quiet guy in the corner watching a lot of this stuff. And I remember one of the producers came up and said, I really like how you're just kind of watching, at the beginning, you're not walking in strutting around kind of like, this is what I think. Oh, like, you're just kind of, because every set's
getting
different,
the vibe,
right?
Yeah.
Getting the vibe. And it's still something I do to this day. I don't come in and like, this is what I think. And this is like, I like to kind of just sit. And sometimes people are like, we thought you hated us. Nobody's thought you were here to talk to us. But it was like, no, I'm just, you just kind of watch and see how this machine runs. And then, I fit really well with it, and I got along really well with a lot of the cast. And I think they really liked the Mitch and Jack storyline too better, that like they had kind of a like buddy, but almost like father-son kind of thing too going on. And then Michelle was just so much fun to play with. And then, that opened up the way that it did. It was nice that, it was fun to, like, I guess, help out of that transition of like, is this character going to find love again?
Yeah.
So that was really great. And then on the plus side, the practical side, they taught me how to ride a horse, which has been,
I was going to ask.
I
did you already know how to ride?
Oh no, I lied in the
I'm a country boy, so I already know how to ride a horse.
Everyone knows how to ride a horse. And then I was like, I got to learn how to ride a horse. And then, I kind of figured out how to fake it. And then I get on the horse out there, and like, they're real cowboys out there. They're like, he doesn't know how to ride a horse.
Well, you faked it well. On screen,
well, no,
great.
I didn't. Well, that's because they didn't let me. They were like, no, we're gonna take him up and teach him how to ride a horse. So then I learned. And
so when you look good, then we'll put you on camera riding a horse.
That's it. They taught me, and basically, I can do I can get that horse to stop on the mark that it's supposed to stop on. Because that's all it is. You're supposed to stop on the mark and deliver the line and ride off. And it's been a great skill. I've got some stuff coming up on When Calls the Heart. I'm here, or there's some heavier horse stuff where like I get to really kind of lope and gallop and stuff.
Ooh,
so
cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be, and I just feel so comfortable kind of on it, and that's all really because of Heartland. So as
so not even having to use stunt doubles very often then.
Well, they'll always
use,
I can, I haven't fallen off, but you still want to use, the stunt doubles are still like incredible riders.
You still want to make sure you're there for work the next day.
And also that wide shot, you want to stunt. You want to be like, that is like those cowboys.
Look how great I look.
Ride those horses. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll tell you it's me, but it's especially like Heartland especially has such a great stunt and riding team. So yeah.
What was it like acting that whole love triangle drama with Gabriel and Michelle? Because you three look like you're really good friends in real life. I even saw on your Instagram you helped promote Gabriel's father's GoFundMe page as well. That's very nice of you.
Because he played. Thank you. But he played my father on When Calls the Heart, which is such a
so you're all like so close,
yeah,
family.
It is. Serendipitous kind of thing. But
it's like you're Gabriel and you are brothers, but then you're
basically I keep asking for money
in Heartland.
Yeah.
No, she's my girl.
Yeah, exactly. He's such a funny human being. He's a funny actor without a doubt, but his wit is really quick, and he's a really nice guy, and he's got that in him too as an actor to be like a tough guy. Like he could play a scary guy because he's quite big and a large presence, but he's just so fun. Gabe's one of the funniest people I've ever met, and
he's funny, and they're both so down to earth as well. They're just so lovely.
So down to earth. Yeah, and Michelle too. Like Michelle, we kind of hung out. We had kind of the same group of friends. Well, we kind of crossed paths in a group of friends that were comedians in Toronto. So like we kind of knew the same comedians in Toronto, and Michelle is a comedian at heart too. You know, she's a director now too. I mean, she's doing a lot of the episodes. She's
very talented
too. Yeah, she's like really taken over there too. But on top of that, she is a comedian at heart, and she knows how to play that stuff. And she always kind of looks for the comedy in a lot of the scenes that, you know, at least I've worked with her at. And Gabe's kind of the like Gabe's wit is so funny, and I mean, as evidenced by the show that he's on right now in LA, the firefighter with the
Tacoma FD,
Tacoma FD, yeah. So like, and I think that's just a dream job for him to be on a show like that, where he just gets to.
He loves comedy.
And he's so good at it. Like his wit is very funny, and I can remember having like belly laughs at some of the stuff that he would say, and even us kind of joking around before a take or even some improv stuff. We had to do a scene with a baby where the baby was Lindy was like crying. This is when she was like really young, and she's crying, and it's like two men and a baby, and we can't figure out how to quiet her or whatever, and we're just kind of like improvising with each other. So it
must be really hard on screen then to pretend to like hate each other.
Yeah, it really, that's one of the things. It's weird. I find it more on this other show that this when Calls the Heart. It's easier to have like a headbutt kind of relationship with Chris on that one. Because Gabe was more like we kind of never really saw each other. Like, I mean, there was maybe one or two things with Mitch and Peter where they're in the same room, and it's more uncomfortable than like we hate each other. But it was, I don't know. There was always like a respect or whatever there. So I don't know. It wasn't. Yeah, I never felt like I like Mitch hated Peter. I just felt like it. There at times you're like, what's going on? What's happening?
It's like we've both been with this
Peter.
woman. It's awkward.
Yeah. Exactly. It's just like sitting in the awkwardness kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think there was one where we were all at the dinner table, right? And then they pull out from like Michelle, and like we're both on either side of her, and she's just like, this is so weird.
Yeah.
So,
especially when there's kids involved too, and it's like, I'm the dad, but Mitch has come in and kind of replaced him a little bit.
But I mean, like, very real stuff that happens, all the time. So it's nice
something we always talk about. That's something great about Heartland is there's just all the storylines in the show are realistic. It's things that, the audience can watch, and there's always something in the show someone can relate to. Yeah. And that was something we spoke about with Michelle, that it's great to see on a show like that. They showed a healthy divorce as well. A lot of the times they don't.
Yeah.
With shows and movies. Yeah.
A healthy divorce, and a divorce too that like, was not easy in a way that like, I mean, they both had to still like work, like it was healthy, but it was also like you could see the work they both had to put into it to make it easy on their kids and stuff like that.
Of course.
So, it was very real. Kind of
very real. Whole show is.
Yeah.
And I do have some fan questions here, Kevin, if you don't mind answering some of them.
Are they just going to call in? Are we going to go to the phones?
I wish.
We're going to go to the phones right now.
I like to have a bit of control over which ones I'm asking you.
I see. Okay.
No, well, I put up that you were going to be on the show up on Facebook, Instagram. So we had some fans put some questions in. We've got on Facebook Michael Dowling. He's one of our Patreons. He wants to know how difficult has it been juggling your roles in both the shows and dealing with the COVID limitations. So we kind of briefly mentioned, didn't we?
Yeah. I mean, last year was, the first year that I was on, was it the first year? Whatever. Let's say 2 years ago, I'm doing One Calls the Heart, and I'm doing Heartland, and I'm flying back and forth. And they're only a province away, right? One shoots in Alberta, one shoots in British Columbia. There was really no problem. COVID wasn't around at the time. I was able to kind of, shoot a week in Vancouver, and then like take a car to the airport, boom, shoot 3 days in Alberta, back here, blah, blah, blah. It was pretty easy the first.
Is that hard memorizing the 2 scripts in that?
No, yeah,
school time?
People said that too. I used to when I was in the repertoire theater company, what that means is like, it's a group of actors that do multiple plays. So when we would have audience talks, a lot of people would be like, do you ever like find yourself in another play and being like, oh God, like saying the wrong line? But it's not that. You liken it to like, subjects in high school. Like you're not going to go into English and just start, reciting your history because you know where you are.
Yeah.
So no, that's not hard. You can always kind of stay ahead of like what you're supposed to do. It's time consuming. You don't have really any downtime because you're back and forth so much. But so yeah, that was easier. But when COVID hit, it got really kind of difficult because I couldn't. When calls the heart, they're kind of the big block. Like I got to be here for that first. So I'm out here, and they weren't, because of COVID. Nobody wanted to like they were like, we're not gonna allow you to jump on a plane and like go over and shoot and get back on a plane. Like right now, it was literally like you go to work, you come home, you just kind of like just stay in the bubble kind of thing. We don't want to bring the disease in. So that in that scenario, we had to like shoot everything from Heartland at the very end. So I had to finish When Calls the Heart, and then I flew out to Calgary, and it was almost like a back order of shots. Like they would have already shot episode 1 and 2 that I would have been in, and currently they're on like episode 9. But wow. I would go back and I would shoot all of my coverage for episode 1 or 2. So they'd actually have to go back and put everybody back in the first sets or whatever, so we could shoot my coverage, and then kind of like catch me up to 9.
Wow.
And then, so that was a bit disorienting. Like, what's happening? Like, have I already said this to you? Like, what's going on in this?
Especially for the rest of the cast. Like, we're so far in advance.
Exactly.
Like,
and they're like,
so much has happened.
Show up. Cool guy shows up at the end. It's like, what's my line? So
whole thing changes just for Kevin.
Whole thing changes. Yeah. Here's this diva coming in. So that was the hardest that it's ever really been. But no, it's not. It's not too bad juggling. It's not. It's not really my problem. I don't. It's the producers got to kind of figure it out.
Yeah,
just like I told you with acting for camera, that they're like stand on this mark and say this line, and they're just like, okay, now go to the airport and get on this plane, go to this hotel, and then get out of the hotel, go to work. So you're like, okay, but it's just
I'll just do what I'm told.
I'll just do what I'm told, and then for those split few minutes in front of the camera, I get to make a few decisions on how I want to say the line, and then okay, go back to the hotel, okay, back on the air, okay. Well,
and you're used to obviously memorizing multiple scripts, so that's
that's
easy
it too.
side
and
for you.
It's a different thing too, I think, to memorize like a play versus film and TV stuff. Like I can memorize a scene for TV pretty quickly, and we can do the scene, and then I will forget it forever. I won't remember what I said. Like that night, I'll be like, I don't know, I forget what I said. But with theater, you run it so many times. Like I can still recite Shakespeare in my head because it's just there. Like you
had to do it a million
times. Exactly. So yeah, it's weird. Whether it's like the short-term, long-term memory thing, but right now my strength is in the short-term memory of like looking at a side or looking at a scene and being able to do it in the moment, and then forget it completely a few hours later. But if I ever do go back to theater, it's got to like exercise that long-term memory again, because that'd be terrifying to be up there and just not know your line. I remember I read this story with Bruce Willis that was doing a play on Broadway or whatever, and he just did not trust his memory. So they gave him like kind of like an ear pod that I got in right now. I'm talking to you, and he would have an ear pod ready to feed him the line. Either it was feeding the line or it was there just in case he forgot it, kind of thing. But like, he just spent so many years of his life memorizing a certain way where like, you're in it. You're still, maybe you're in it even more because like the words just kind of coming to you, because you've just looked at the stuff and you're kind of going on impulses. So it's not like a lazier thing to do. It's just, just the mediums require different, techniques. So
interesting. This stuff I've never given any thought to. So Thanks for.
Well, this is at least what I find. I mean,
For you,
there are
yes.
other
I'm
actors
sure
that
a
are
lot
like,
of other
"No,
people
back
are the
and
same.
forth. I know this stuff. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So
Well, I have
Yeah.
two questions here on Facebook, and they're both similar about working with children on screen. We've got Don Sasha Schwartz.
never do it.
Never do it.
No,
Yes, I've heard from Graham and Amber. It's quite difficult.
never do it.
And Thadden Cherry Endicott on Facebook. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing these wrong.
Oh.
They were both talking about, how have you been able to, do you have nieces or nephews? How do you create that great connection with the kids that you have worked with on screen? And have you even used your own relationship or upbringing with your own father to kind of shape those father roles that you've played?
It's very nice that they think that I made a nice connection with some of that.
Yeah, there was a few questions like that. So you work well with kids.
Yeah, that's really nice. Thank you. I think that might just be because I'm a giant kid myself.
Yeah, that always helps.
Yeah, I mean, yes to the question, where do you just take stuff from your own life and use that while you're playing with other characters? Like, of course, I mean that's kind of what all we know. A lot of the time, like, this is how I would do it, or this is how I've seen other people do it. And I do have, my dad is great, and he was a fantastic father, and he's also great with kids too. He's where they live right now. They've got two young families on either end of them right now, and dad's oddly enough like a big part in both kind of the neighbors' kids' lives. Like he's teaching one of the neighbors' kids. He goes over and teaches them. And when COVID was kind of going on, he was kind of teaching them certain subjects or whatever.
Homeschooling, yeah.
And then dad has a garden as well. And then the other kids on the other side, they come over and they want to help him do the garden. So he's got like these rocks, these painted rocks that the kids have made in his garden. And he's always kind of, it's very, and he's kind of got the same thing that I have about just kind of like being a big kid with these kids too. And, and so I don't know, I guess I have to have it from, both my parents were great with kids and great with my brother and I when we were growing up. So I think I guess that's gotta be it. Like, I mean, I've never really thought about it too much, but I do work with kids a lot now that I think about it. I worked with the two actors who played Katie on Heartland, and then I worked with Jada, who plays Allie on When Calls the Heart. And I don't know what it is. Maybe
you're doing a good job, so keep it up.
Thank you. Yeah, I guess I've never really thought about it too much, but I guess I just don't think of them like working with kids. I just treat them like they're
other cast members.
Cast members, and they've got something unique to offer, and I'll play off of it, kind of thing. And I don't know. So that's nice. That's nice to hear.
I know you've got some amazing fans out there. I have seen. And Irene and Bev, another couple of our Patreons, they want to know: have you got any new Hallmark movies coming up that you can share with us? I know sometimes they have to keep a secret, but
keep them under wraps. They never have to. I don't know why they say that. I've got there's one movie, I think it's already been leaked out anyways, that I'm doing with Lacey Chabert.
I love her.
She's great. Oh my god,
get her on the show.
And like a total
love her
pro.
movies.
Yeah, I'll just make a call. Total pro and really charming, and she's a lot of fun to work with. So I'm just part of this, but it's the first trilogy that they're doing for Hallmark, where it's kind of full of a bunch of Hallmark stars in this thing. So it's three women, and they're kind of all in it, but it's a bigger storyline than just one movie. So Lacey and I are in the first one, and
love it.
we might bleed into some of the other ones as well. But it'll be really great when it comes out. It was a lot of fun to shoot, and she's great. And then Kayla Wallace, who's on the show, who I'm also dating, we also did a movie together. I don't know if it's going to be. I'm not sure what's happening with that one yet, but we shot that one in the summer just before I came out here. So that was a lot of fun too.
Keep us up to date, all right? When they come out, you just have to come back on the show and talk about it.
I will.
Yeah. Well, good luck with it all.
Thank you.
And Alison Fraser and Lillian Rodani, I don't know, something like that.
Rodani.
Yes. They want to know about whether you're going to expand your singing or write any music because you have such an amazing voice.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you to Rodani. Who are the other two?
Lillian and Alison.
Lillian and Allison. Thank you. I mean, Kayla is quite good too. We pluck around on the piano and the guitar a lot, and we sing a lot. I think as things slowly start opening up too, and we can start doing live music in bars and playing music again. We're going to take advantage of that. No plans to like release anything. I know some people really like to release music. So, to me, it was always, I really like music theater, and I played with bands and bars and stuff when I was in my earlier 20s. But honestly, if I could do it again, I would have been a rock star. If I could do it again, I would have put more emphasis on like music. But I think I wasn't as sure about it as much as I was sure about acting. So I don't know if that has passed me by, the whole
still under the entertainment umbrella.
It's still, I guess you're right. And like I said, I did write 2 musicals, so it's like it is, the writing is there. It's just we haven't I think it's been pretty busy this year, and again, knock on marble, it stays like that. But it would be nice to kind of take some time off and kind of like write something from the heart rather than like regurgitate, rather than saying other people's words all the time. It'd be nice to maybe take a bit of time off and create something that is completely unique to your own experiences. So yes, the answer is you'll definitely see more like singing and playing on the social medias.
Oh, fantastic.
But if anything is going to come out with like an album, anything like that, I don't know about that yet. So.
Well, you never know what the future will hold, as we keep saying throughout this interview.
Exactly. Maybe it'll be. We've been pushing for a musical episode of What Calls the Heart for a while, so maybe that'll happen. I don't know.
People do love those types of episodes.
And when a season we're shooting season 9 right now. Like it's when it goes that long, it's like these things are fun. Like it's kind of a nice little treat for the people that have been sticking with it for so long, right? So Heartland needs a musical or like some kind of some wacky.
Yeah, there's so many amazing actors there that have really nice voices. Amber and Sean have done a little bit, but they just get everyone
Chris
in.
Has got a good voice too. Chris, who plays Tim, he was really into like the band stuff for a little while.
Yeah,
he was in the 80s kind of stuff. He saw him once too. There was some party or something or whatever, and he was doing You Gotta Fight for Your Right to Party, and he's playing the guitar like screaming into the mic. I was like, this guy is a rock star. This is like he could do it. I mean,
he's what you want to be.
I think he did it for a little while. He had a band when he was younger. So anyways, but yeah, the talent is there for sure.
Doesn't even surprise me now when I hear an actor also kind of dabbling in music a little bit.
Yeah.
Seems like there are a lot of you out there are doing that.
Yeah, well, we do anything you can to just give us money. We'll juggle.
Just do what you're passionate about, right? That's what life's about.
Yeah.
And we do have one last fan question here, and it kind of connects with what I ask all my guests anyway, is what advice would you give to our audience who might want to follow their dreams of being an actor? And David N788 wants to know how to do a good self-tape audition and maybe advice on landing an acting role.
Oh, man. I wish I had a piece of advice that's like, look, all you got to do is this. This is the secret that no one's telling you. And then you're like, oh yeah, I get it. Well, to go into a good self-tape, if David, that's his name, if he is an actor and wants to know that, I mean, the rules are light yourself really well, get kind of some kind of professional lighting, make sure we can hear you, make sure there's a little pause in between each scene, a little black between each scene, and shoot yourself kind of shoulders just below the shoulders and with a little space above the head. That's really all you got to do, and you kind of play around with whatever you want in there. But that's a very technical answer, but I mean, that's what
it's what all the industry people are wanting to see.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's really all it is. Just follow those rules. But I mean, advice for anybody that wants to get into it is, I'll say, I mean, the advice that we always, hear is, like, if it's passion, follow it 100%. And, make sure you really want to do this. If this is a thing, I've heard, if you can see yourself doing anything else, maybe try that first, because it can be tough to be an actor, but it can be so rewarding too. It's so amazing. And like, if you love it, you should do it. And on a positive note too, like, I mean, at this time in the world with, 1,001 streaming platforms, there has never been more work, and never been more work in niches too. Like, everyone is kind of trying to find, everyone is trying to make something everyone's trying to find a voice for someone right now. And TV especially has changed, and we're seeing movies kind of lessen and everything kind of go to TV. TV is so great right now, but it's changed from, like, I remember I did a movie once with Patrick Duffy, who was on Dallas. He played Bobby Ewing on Dallas. My mom, that's still the biggest. My mom's like, I cannot believe you worked with Bobby Ewing. And I got him to send like a little message to her, and she still has it on her phone. He's like,
oh, that's cute.
But the point is that, and he was saying too, he's like, like, when I was on, like, Dallas was one of 7 shows that was on. So, like, if you were on a hit show, like, everyone in the world knew you. And now there are so many shows. Like, every time I turn on a new platform, like, I've never even heard of this show. Blah blah blah. Like, it's the fame has kind of lessened, but at the same time, there's so much more work, and you can kind of, as an actor, like, you can jump from project to project a lot right now, and find a niche that you kind of work in. You find a home, but there's just to anybody that wants to get into this, it's tough, but at this time in the world right now, there's never been more stuff, and also never been a search for content. So if people have an idea to do their own, like, shoot a scene or something, or a little, like, 20-minute idea of what your television show would be on your phone, like, people want to buy these things right now. They can't get enough content. We are devouring it, right now. So it's tough, but at the same time, it's getting more attainable, where I think we're going to see a lot more people, being actors and stuff like that. So, like, go for it. Please, if it's in your blood and in your heart, like, do it. It can be tough, but again, it's a great time to be an artist. So,
best time to get into it. So,
and just
dive into the deep end.
And there's really no excuse not to, like, like, if you really want to, you can distribution now. Like, you can put stuff up on YouTube. You could put stuff, you can make your audience. You can create a lot of the, I'm really a fan of this Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who did Fleabag. I don't know if you saw this Fleabag show that she did, or whatever, but she wrote that as a one-woman show. It was a fringe show for a while, and then Amazon saw it and they put it up. But, like, she built her audience and built her own, vehicle of stardom. So, like, go out there and find your audience, and then that's all the network needs to see to be like, oh yeah, we'd love to buy this, or we'd love to, and then, but yeah, I don't know. That's kind of
that's great advice.
Disjointed answer, but yeah.
No, that's actually one of the best advice in terms of getting into being an actor that we've gotten on this show. So thank you.
Oh, well, you're welcome.
Hopefully David takes it on board.
Well, and then hire me, David, if your show takes off.
Exactly. Kevin needs work too.
I need work. Tell Vin Diesel to hire. Yeah. No, we're done with it.
Poor Vin Diesel after this interview is just going to be bombarded. Going who? What is going on, Kevin?
Who is this guy? Yeah.
Well, I have already taken up a lot of your time, Kevin, but do you have time for a quick game?
Yeah, let's play a game.
Yeah, it's only 2-minute games, so it's very quick.
Oh, all right.
Now, it's a game on our show, legendary game. It's called the 2-Minute Hot Seat. And what we do is I ask you various questions, and you just have to pick your preference. So it's like dogs or cats, singing or dancing, and you have to answer as many questions in 2 minutes as possible.
Okay.
And then we'll see where you
close
sit.
my eyes?
Well,
Does it help? I don't know if anybody can even see this, but I mean, know that I'm closing my eyes.
Well, we after that we have a leaderboard here, so we see where you sit on the leaderboard up against everyone else that's played the game on the show. So we've had Gabriel play the game, so I'm sure you kind of want to beat him. We've had Graham Wardle and Chris Potter. So Chris Potter answered 30 questions.
Chris Potter on the show? Very nice. Yeah, okay.
I know.
Wow.
Even Gabriel was surprised. He's like, I doubt you got Chris. And I was like, yeah, actually, we had him on a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, that's wild.
He was hard to get, though. I will admit that. So all the fans better appreciate it. Graham Wardle answered 51. So he beat Chris. And Gabriel answered 49. So he was just under Graham. So if you want to beat Gabriel.
Graham is the reigning champion right now? Is that
51. Yep. Out of the Heartland cast. Not the top of the leaderboard, but well.
Okay. Oh wait, who's at the top of the leaderboard?
101 questions.
Who did that?
It's an up-and-coming singer here in Australia called Elizabeth Issa. And it was her second time playing it, so I feel like she was kind of had a bit of an advantage. So she just wanted to answer as many in 2 minutes as possible. I don't know whether they were honest answers.
Exactly. Yeah, she was prepared. What was her first score? That's what I got to beat.
Her first score, 83.
Oh, so still okay.
Still high. Yeah.
Wow.
It was in person though, so I know with these Zoom interviews, you know, I always give you 15 seconds more just because of, you know, a little bit of delay and hearing me. All right, let me get my stopwatch. Okay. Are you all ready? So at least to beat your buddy Gabriel, at least 49.
Okay. Gabe's
if not down. 51 and beat Graham. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Facebook or Instagram?
Instagram.
iPhone or Samsung?
iPhone.
Apple or Android?
Apple.
Rap or rock music?
Rock music.
Rock or pop?
Pop music.
Pop or country?
Country.
Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Beach or pool?
Beach.
Sun or rain?
Summer.
Skiing or snowboarding?
Skiing. Comedy
or action?
Comedy.
Blondes or brunettes?
Oh, brunettes.
Sweet or salty?
Blonde. Oh, I don't know both. Sweet.
Sunglasses or hat?
Sunglasses.
SUV or convertible?
Convertible.
Mac or PC?
Mac.
PlayStation or Wii?
PlayStation.
Clean or messy?
Clean.
Singing or dancing?
Singing.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Italian or Chinese food?
Italian.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Kim Kardashian or Scarlett Johansson?
Scarlett Johansson.
Johnny Depp or Will Smith?
Will Smith.
Mall or online shopping?
Online.
Cinema or home movie?
Cinema.
Ice cream or gelato?
Gelato.
Cake or cookies?
Cookies.
Cookies or cookie dough?
No cookies.
Family or friends?
Family.
Christmas or your birthday?
Christmas.
Night or day?
Day.
Bus or train?
Bus.
Straight or curly hair?
Straight.
Eye color blue or brown?
Blue.
Vampire or werewolf?
Vampire.
Texting or calling?
Texting.
Los Angeles or New York?
New York.
Friday or Saturday?
Good Friday.
TV or movies?
Movies.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Snow or surf?
Surf.
Harry Potter or Twilight?
Twilight?
Family Guy or The Simpsons?
Simpsons.
McDonald's or Burger King?
McDonald's.
French fries or chips?
French fries.
Burger or hot dog?
Burger.
Guitar or drums?
Guitar.
And we're out of time! Oh, my goodness! So stressful!
What was it? What was it?
How many questions do you think you answered? Do you think you beat Gabriel at 49?
Oh God, I don't know. I kind of blacked out there. I don't know. I
You're
don't think I did
both
it.
so similar. I cannot believe this. You have answered 48, so you're only one question
my
short.
God.
Oh, talk about,
Unbelievable.
intense, right?
That was intense. It
You
was
know
the
what's
blonde
great
brunette
about
one
that?
got me.
What's great about that, though, is it just means you have to come back on the show and then try to beat your old score.
And beat him. 48. Feels good,
I
though.
know. So that means you are sitting number 40 on the Rave It Up leaderboard. The same spot as Peter
Lucky number
Anarati,
40.
who's also an actor on, he was an actor on SWAT. He's on This Is
Oh,
Us.
cool.
Yeah, so
Oh, man.
same slot as him. But one
Feels
more
good.
you would have beat Gabriel. I'm so sorry. You beat Chris Potter, though. So
Well,
that's a proud moment.
That's good. I'll let him know.
Yes, rub it in his face.
I will.
We are unfortunately getting to the end of the interview now, Kevin, but as a closing statement, and was probably the most important question, knowing what you know now, what would you tell your 14-year-old self?
Oh, wow. You really saved the deep ones for the very end.
Right at the end. Yep.
What would I tell my 14-year-old self? When I was a kid, when I was 14, I was very aware of, I think I was trying to be, cool, or I was trying to, I was trying to
everybody?
fit in. Exactly. And I didn't listen to myself enough times. Sometimes you do some things like that really wasn't me, or like, why was I, why did I say that to that person? That wasn't who I was. So, I mean, I tell my 14-year-old self that authenticity, being your authentic self, you're actually going to find a circle that you're supposed to be in a lot quicker. You might, you'll find your people a lot quicker if you just be yourself and not worrying about having to fit in too much.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's what I'd say.
I love that answer. Perfect.
Yeah.
I put all the answers to that question in a book that's just behind me.
Oh, really? That's a great idea.
Yeah, I love the answers because it just really opens you up to talk about your childhood and what you were like back then. So great answer. We'll have to get you in the next one.
Give me that book.
Yes. It's a great book for a series, right? Just keep making
absolutely.
them.
That's a good idea. There you go.
And before we go, if our audience want to contact you, find out what you're up to in the future, where should they go? Where should we go follow you?
Oh, I'm on Instagram. I don't even know what my handle is. I think it's just my name.
Just type in Kevin McGarry and it will come up.
Honestly, type in Kevin McGarry in Google. He might be dead. I don't know if they changed that or not yet. But
that's the other Kevin McGarry, though.
That's the other Kevin McGarry. Well, it depends if Google's changed it.
Well, I found you on Instagram easy enough, so that was just typing in your name.
Look for the blue check mark on the thing, and there are, for whatever reason, there's more people pretending to be me or whatever and asking for money. And so don't listen to that, Kevin McGarry.
Yes.
Just look for the blue check mark, and that's I'm more active on Instagram than kind of anything. I'm not a huge social media person, but you'll probably find the most up-to-date stuff on Instagram. So.
Fantastic. Well, we'll go follow you. I'm already following you, but everyone else, go follow Kevin.
Please, thank you.
And thank you so much for coming on our show today, Kevin. Thanks for taking the time. I didn't want to stop you. You're just giving us gold,
Oh, just rambling on, but thank you. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. And come on the show anytime, all right? Just consider it your second home. If you want to talk about anything in the future, come back on.
I got to get better at that game. 40, It'll be 52 next time at least.
Next time. Awesome. And if you ever come to Australia in the future, let me know. You told me just before we started recording you haven't been here before, so
I know.
You got to add it to your list.
Got a tour guide. Yes.
Yes.
I will.
Exactly. I'll show you around the great places.
Can't wait.
It's on the to-do list. We'll make it happen. Thank you for listening. If you want to be the first to get every new episode, remember to subscribe to this podcast for free. Just search for Rave It Up on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and share it with your friends and tell us what you loved the most and even let us know what you want to hear on this podcast. You can even check out the videos of our interviews on our YouTube channel, Rave It Up TV. And for more, visit our website, raveituptv.com. Now, before I leave you today, I just want you to remember that you are loved and you are beautiful.